SHRM-CP, PHR, SPHR, SHRM-SCP. Practice questions. Part 8. Let us begin with a few questions. 1. In the United States, states may set minimum wage amounts that are lower, or the same, but not higher, than the federal minimum rate. True or false? The answer is false. States may set minimum wage amounts that are higher, or lower, than the federal minimum wage rate, but employers must pay the minimum wage that is most favorable to the employee. 2. Breaks or meal periods are not required to be given to workers under the Fair Labor Standards Act, FLSA, but may be required by state or local laws. True or false? The answer is true. The FLSA does not require lunch or coffee breaks. However, when employers do offer short breaks, usually lasting about 5 to 20 minutes, federal law considers the breaks as compensable work hours, and are considered in determining overtime. 3. The Fair Labor Standards Act requires employers to provide a functional space for nursing mothers to express breast milk, which can include a private bathroom. True or false? The answer is false. Employers are required to provide reasonable break time for an employee to express breast milk for her nursing child, for 1 year after the child's birth, each time such employee has need to express the milk. Employers are also required to provide a place, other than a bathroom, that is shielded from view, and free from intrusion from co-workers and the public, which may be used by an employee to express breast milk. Note that a bathroom, even if private, is not a permissible location under the Act. 4. General exceptions regarding pay for workers, under the Fair Labor Standards Act, are usually referred to as the blue-collar exemptions to overtime. True or false? The answer is false. The FLSA exemptions do not apply to blue-collar workers, such as carpenters, electricians, mechanics, etc. They are entitled to minimum wage and overtime premium pay under the FLSA, and are not exempt. 5. The Fair Labor Standards Act sets 16 years of age as the minimum age for employment. True or false? The answer is false. As a general rule, the FLSA sets 14 years old as the minimum age for employment, and limits the number of hours worked by minors under the age of 16. Note that the rules vary, depending upon the particular age of the minor, and the particular job involved. 6. Part-time workers have the right to receive a notification of a mass layoff, under the Worker Adjustment and Retraining Notification Act. True or false? The answer is true. Part-time employees are entitled to receive WARN notice. Note that temporary employees are not entitled to WARN notice. 7. Under the Family and Medical Leave Act, an employee's healthy child, who is over 18 years old, does not qualify as an immediate family member. True or false? The answer is true. In order for a parent, who is an eligible employee, to take FMLA leave, to care for a son or daughter 18 years of age or older, the adult child must be incapable of self-care, due to a mental or physical disability. 8. The right to a covered leave of absence, under the Family and Medical Leave Act, applies to employees the moment they begin employment. True or false? The answer is false. Employees are eligible for leave if they have worked for their employer for at least 12 months, at least 1,250 hours over the past 12 months, and work at a location where the company employs 50 or more employees within 75 miles. 9. An employer's publication of an employee handbook can change the nature of at-will employment. True or false? The answer is true. Unless the text of an employee handbook clearly indicates otherwise, an employee handbook can be considered a legally binding document between an employer and its employees.
Become a Human Resource Prep member. Membership perks: unlimited PHR, SPHR, SHRM-CP, SHRM-SCP questions, answers, and explanations. In-depth explanations of key terms and concepts for the SHRM-CP, SHRM-SCP, PHR, SPHR exams. Instructional videos on exam resources for the SHRM-CP, SHRM-SCP, PHR, SPHR exams.
Guthrie has applied for a job at Cross Stores. She is told that after 30 days, she is required to join the union representing the employees of Cross Stores. In this case, the Cross Stores is a dash. A. Closed shop. B. Agency shop. C. Maintenance of membership shop. D. Union shop. The answer is D. A union shop is a union security clause in a place of work, where employers may hire non-union workers, who must join a labor union, within an agreed time, usually 30 days. A place of employment, that requires a person to be a union member, before applying for a job, is said to be a dash. A. Open shop. B. Agency shop. C. Mandatory membership shop. D. Closed shop. The answer is D. A closed shop is a place of work, where membership in a union is a condition before the employee is hired, and for continued employment. Coaching and development, problem solving, and creative activities, are examples of which motivational needs, as described by Abraham Maslow? A. Esteem. B. Physiological. C. Self-actualization. D. Security. The answer is C. Self-actualization are the highest level in Maslow's hierarchy, and refer to the realization of a person's potential, self-fulfillment, seeking personal growth, and peak experiences. Maslow describes this level as the desire to accomplish everything that one can, to become the most that one can be. This includes problem solving, creativity, and development. As a trainer for your company, you are preparing to deliver a new course. Your supervisor has asked you to define the learning needs for the course. Which of the following statements best describes the learning needs? A. It is what the learners need to know to complete their tasks within the organization. B. It is what the ADDIE model provides, as consecutive steps towards training effectiveness. C. It is what the learners need to know, so they can prepare for the course, as determined by the formative evaluation. D. It is the needs assessment of what will, and won't be included in the training design. The answer is A. Learning needs is the gap between the learner's current level of knowledge and skills, and the level of knowledge and skills required to perform a task, or a set of tasks. A management consulting firm will expand into the East Asia region, and has purchased a sizable group of offices. The firm's policies, procedures, and practices will extend to the new offices. The firm will become a parent firm of the East Asia offices, and will provide tools, resources, investment, and personnel, who will become associates. What type of growth strategy has the management consulting firm adopted? A. Strategic Management Alliance. B. Equity Partnership. C. Joint Venture. D. Turnkey Operation. The answer is D. A turnkey operation is an agreement by a seller, to supply a buyer with a facility fully equipped, and ready to be operated, by the buyer's personnel, who will be trained by the seller. One of the special models of carrying out international business, is a turnkey project. The Cleanse firm grants the Basque LLC, the use of its trademark, and provides operational assistance on a continuing basis, to the Basque LLC. This arrangement is known as A. Fair Use Convention. B. Joint Venture. C. Trademark Management Contract. D. Franchising. The answer is D. Franchising is a form of marketing and distribution, in which the owner of a business system, the franchisor, grants to an individual or group of individuals, the franchisee, the right to run a business selling a product, or providing a service using the franchisor's business system, such as its know-how, procedures, intellectual property, use of its business model, brand, and rights to sell its branded products and services. For example, McDonald's operates a franchise business model.
Become a Human Resource Prep member. Membership perks. Unlimited PHR, SPHR, SHRM-CP, SHRM-SCP questions, answers, and explanations. In-depth explanations of key terms and concepts for the SHRM-CP, SHRM-SCP, PHR, SPHR exams. Instructional videos on exam resources for the SHRM-CP, SHRM-SCP, PHR, SPHR exams.
The term dash refers to the ability of an innovator to appropriate some of the gains that result from his or her innovation. A. Sustainable advantage. B. Competitive advantage. C. Appropriability. D. Definability. The answer is C. Appropriability is the capacity of an individual or a firm to retain the added value it creates for its own benefit. What term describes the high-level objectives for a training course? A. Storyboard units. B. Course description. C. Course objectives. D. Instructional goal. The answer is D. An instructional goal is a clear overall statement of observable behaviors that learners are to demonstrate as a result of the instruction. Instructional objectives are specific, measurable, short-term, observable learner behaviors. Think of objectives as tools used to attain the instructional goal. The Task Corporation has expanded into a region, where it has chosen to create its own subsidiary, by building a new factory and offices from scratch. Which of the following factors possibly informed the Task Corporation's decision to engage in a greenfield operation, by starting a new operation from ground up, rather than acquiring an existing one in the region? A. Labor relations at existing firms are poor, and are likely to be difficult to change. B. The local government places restrictions on the transfer of foreign capital. C. Existing companies have goodwill and brand recognition in their market. D. The country's currency is fragile, and stock market prices are depressed. The answer is A. Poor labor relations at existing firms is a good reason not to acquire the existing firms, but to start up facilities from scratch. A painstaking HR initiative is completed and delivered to the Operations Department, which is the internal customer the initiative was prepared for. The manager of the Operations Department rejects the initiative, stating it does not meet the department's needs. How could this have been prevented? A. The HR team should have benchmarked best practices of such initiatives, and documented information exchanges. B. The internal customer should have been involved in determining the initiative's purpose and scope. C. Senior management and strategic buy-in should have been obtained and included in the progressive steps of the initiative. D. The customer should have been involved in the organizing and delegating functions of project management. The answer is B. The Operations Department, as the internal customer for whom the initiative was created for, should have been involved in the determining the project's purpose and scope. Which phase of the ADDIE model is concerned with the direction and content of the supervisory training? A. Analysis. B. Design. C. Development. D. Implementation. The answer is B. The design phase of the ADDIE model involves determining the direction and content of a training. The design phase of the ADDIE model addresses any performance gaps identified in the analysis phase, the training outline is completed, and management approval is secured.
And with that we come to the end of today's lesson. Check out the description box below for additional resources towards earning the PHR, SPHR, SHRM-CP, and SHRM-SCP. Facebook Practice Group. Class Marker PHR, SPHR, Practice Exams. Books on Amazon. Teachable PHR, SPHR online course. Remember to subscribe and like this video.